Welcome everyone back to D and Doozle's Vultyr Chronicles. I am so sorry that it's taken so long to get to this point or to come back, but life, everything happening in the world, and everything I need to come up with to make this work kind of took precedence. Coming back for this next segment are Sir Varigan, played by Zach, Max, played by Bree, Nickstick, played by Kenny, and number 24, played by Haley. Nick Newley, played by Mike, is not going to be here today, so he will just be on autopilot at this point in time. All right, so who wants to give a recap of what happened last time you all were together?
I think we saved griffins. Kenny got to see a griffin hatch. It was really cool. We got chewed out for being lippy. I don't actually remember where we're going. That's right.
We're not being necessarily allowed to go anywhere else because I think we are escorting the half-orc leader and the elf leader along with us.
It's more like they're escorting you.
Oh, we have babysitters. That's fair.
And apparently,
that makes sense.
Let me just stop him right here now. Oh, he's a part of the army. Okay, let me not kill him. All right, so you all left Evan's Reach with the contingent of Carthazal and Nothra interest and their small force at the point in time at the moment. But you're all on your way back to the main force. The size of the force that you all are being accompanied with is about 500. yeah, I got you.
Whenever you got the time, no worries.
No, that's fine.
Because I keep forgetting, but I know them, so I know I should know their names. But I, as a character, no, not as a character, as a player, am bad. So.
No, that's good. That's good. And there you go.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Everyone's traveling. It all is just quiet because of the sheer numbers. So none of you have to worry about fighting anything at this point in time because it was what was it? Nightfall or early morning when you all left?
Yes.
It was morning because we had slept.
Okay.
Because we had gotten back from a night raid.
Yep. All right. So at this point in time, you all have a moment to converse with yourselves, with your two privates, or anyone else that is within earshot.
Slow to start this morning. Everyone's grumpy.
Just tired.
There's a slight banging as Nickstick unseals his butt in the back of the wagon and just pops out of it. You've heard of the barrel of monkeys, but have you heard of the barrel with Nickstick?
You kind of gave it unfamiliar soldier who doesn't know you a small fright because he wasn't expecting a goblin to pop out of a barrel.
Yes, always be on your toes. Keep a lookout for everything.
This particular soldier gives you an odd look and then just rides along. Just rides along.
It's like, what? You always want to keep an open eye out. And when you're safe, it's because you're sealed inside of a solid object. Don't go in my bedroom. I'm watching you. I just lean out the back of the wagon. I'm like, I'm watching you.
You kind of hear a small voice of Private Patterson tell the other soldier, don't worry about it. It's how he is.
Damn right. Snake Stick crashes and then just limbers his way up to the top of the wagon.
Dick Newley is sitting with both privates up front, just not saying anything, being quiet, oddly quiet for once.
Me.
You do see Cartha and I don't remember where's that other shit. And Athara, they're up front. Cartha looks to be riding a large warhorse, while Athara seems to be riding a large stag.
What's everybody else doing?
Just basic stuff, just moving along, kind of talking amongst themselves.
Oh no, I meant like the party, like Varrigan, Mags, 24.
I'm riding Axel.
I'm gonna take a look at a map, maybe cross-reference with a small black journal that I have.
24, what exactly are you doing?
Number 24 is not doing a whole lot because number 24's job is mostly like kind of field management, and we've left the immediate field.
So you're resting.
Yeah, I've just kind of got beat up.
So just enjoying the ride for once.
Well, I have no hospitals or hospital staff to manage out here, so
All right.
I look over my notes and hope they were enough for the people I left them behind with, but like, yeah, it's nothing much I can do out here.
Okay. Max.
Yes.
Give me. So you say you're still looking over the map, right?
Yeah, I'm looking over the map. I'm kind of looking into a personal book that I have as well.
Okay. Kind of give me a brief outlook on some of the notes that you have.
On what?
Give me some of your notes, some of the things that you've taken down.
Oh, okay. Basically, I'm trying to kind of keep it's just like a checklist, like little bullet points of like places we've traveled, people that we've met, possible grievances that someone may or may not have incurred upon us for future reference.
Some of your grievances do equate to complaints, but they're largely about Snake Stick.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is it the usual?
There is the usual, all of it pertaining to orcs,
Yeah.
half orcs.
Yeah. Oh, that's a problem.
That's
Someone-
racist.
That is racist. I dare him to give my admin person like a sideways look in my presence. I dare him.
There is one complaint about 24, but it's kind of like they don't know what to do.
24, the person who filed the complaint.
The person that filed a complaint, it was someone that was healed during one small skirmish because they kind of felt that as they were being healed, kind of felt like 24 wasn't really there.
What?
Like they were spacing out.
I'm not clergy.
Are they dead?
No, they're still alive.
Irrelevant. I guess I'll talk to 24 about keeping their head on the swivel in the game. Maybe. Not in like a you're in trouble sort of way. Just like in a casual conversation way. As casual as stiff conversation can be for Mags.
There looks to be at least 4 complaints about Verrigan, but they were immediately crossed out.
Was it about Axel?
No, it's not about Axel. It was more on small disagreements, but immediately shut down after paperwork was filed at a very fast pace.
Paperwork not filed by me. That's interesting.
Just a quick clarification. We're level 4 or 5?
You all should be level. What, I started you all at what? Yeah, you're all level 5.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to write down my core traits on my character sheet. No shit.
I mean, you'll have time. One of you give me a perception check. All right, Steak, always prepared.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't my perception check. That was the thing I whispered you.
It hits. He just ignores you.
You causing a ruckus, man?
What? He was hungry. He looked hungry.
So,
Apple just whiz by and hits Kartha in the back of the head.
Oh. I kind of look over and I give Snickstick that narrowed like side eye.
That'll be perception.
Okay. Overhead, you kind of see like a shadow go over everyone as everyone's marching. Do you look up?
Absolutely.
Okay. As you look up, you see a griffin, and it looks oddly familiar.
Like a
more recent familiar, not very, very familiar.
Like not one of the griffins that we recently rescued.
Yes, it is.
But possibly one of those griffins that when I see him, I'm puckering a butthole. Is my sphincter tightening on reflex?
No, it's the other way around.
On reflex, yes, because given your past, you know what this means. But it is not. It's not that griffin. It is literally one of the griffins that you saved.
Oh, it's one of the ones that we saved. Okay, never mind. Okay.
It's
unclench.
It's just flying overhead. That's it.
All right. It's like, huh? I guess they're coming with us. I just point up the griffins.
It kind of makes a circle and then kind of heads back towards the Evan outpost.
Yeah, came to see us off, I suppose.
All right, so you all have been traveling for about 3 hours now. The scenery is still like slightly dense forest, but every so often you will see old structures, you'll see like you do see people waving as you're all passing by.
When you say old structures, are you talking like ruins?
Yes,
Are they more recent ruins, or are these like from a bygone era?
bygone era.
Okay.
I stop my glancing to take them in for a little bit as we pass.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, for the sake of roleplay sake, I'm gonna roll a knowledge history.
Okay. All right. Seeing as you're really not from this plane of existence,
That's fair.
I will give you a small tidbit because you do have you have at least learned some of this world's history.
What about
Um,
somebody who
you-
is from this plane?
you will know about this. The small ruin, the ruin that you all pass, is basically a site of where a city once was.
Okay.
It kind of looked like it was a little bit better built, but it looked more like there was more conflict, which caused it to be destroyed, and only a few structures were left standing. If the forest hasn't already taken most of them already.
So, war from a bygone age.
Yep.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Let's see. As everyone is still moving along, still trudging along, and the scenery starts to change from forest to a more open field. Both Kartha and Nathara do kind of pull back to ride with the rest of you.
Good afternoon, or is it still morning?
It's more afternoon now.
Okay. Good afternoon. Hopefully the weather stays pleasant. I do hate to march in a storm.
Kartha does look up at the sky, looks up at the clouds, and then just remarks, Southerners don't know about actual storms. You should know this.
It's always worth a try.
Nathara does regale everyone that in their absence, the mage under, well, the primary mage under all of you, Christopher, has been the one trying to keep everything in line. And she does look pointedly at you, Snickstick.
Yeah, sitting up a bit straighter and just like eyeballs cutting back and forth.
She does tell you that no, he is not upset per se, but he is not happy.
I mean, fair, he's never happy. Have you met the guy?
Yes, I have.
I'm
Uh,
sorry for your loss.
It's not the worst. Have you ever tried to hold a conversation with Templar?
No, they usually try to kill me.
That sounds as tedious as it does dull.
Templar doesn't seem the type to outright kill, seeing as they are a warforged.
Well, after you,
The metal man that I'm not allowed to go near.
yeah, after a few tours, he gets under anybody's skin.
Snickstick,
What?
are you allowed to go near anybody?
Yes. Why do you think I'm in this unit?
Are
Bad
you?
luck.
No.
Cartha does look at all of you, mainly as Nickstick. Are you allowed to go near anyone of orcish blood
Absolutely.
without weapons,
Yes.
without murderous intent,
Yes.
without poison,
Yes.
by yourself?
Yes.
Bullshit.
If they're the enemies.
I meant allies. Enemies are different.
Specify that.
Oh lord.
Well, this is starting off to be a lively column. I pull up to
Mm.
Varigan,
Mhm.
and I hand him back his gorget. It's got a rune etched on the front of it that is dormant right now.
Oh, thank you. He just kind of slides it back on and buckles it in place.
I told you what that does, right?
It's a spell of protection, right?
Yeah, it's a let me look it up real quick. It's a spell of shield that is triggered when you get attacked.
Okay. I
So
will
it is
annotate that.
it is a one and done. I'd have to recast it after it gets spent, but it's better than nothing since we only have the one tank.
It is.
I
It
mean-
is a nice thing to have.
Take a level in Artificer.
If
And then
you want to do
spam
one
that.
for Axel, that would be awesome too.
We certainly have the time.
You do have the time for the moment.
He hands you a piece of Axel's barding that comes pretty handily.
Is it like fucking head plate thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cute. Yeah, I'll work
Actually-
on that.
Actually, Cartha does call to a halt
Ooh.
so that everyone can at least have time to stop, rest, relieve themselves, eat if they can, and then move on. So you do now have time to just stretch your legs, move about.
Cool.
You said we're still in a four. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna dismount, give Axel a bag of oats, go check on Noodles, number
Noodles?
24's dog.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she has a dog.
Noodles is actually very excited to be moving finally.
I picture Noodles as like a greyhound, but larger. I know that's not a real dog,
Actually,
but like,
actually, Haley, your dog Noodles, he is a greyhound and mastiff mix.
so he's like,
So
good lord.
so
yes,
he's like,
he is a
but with a skinny head.
Big boy.
he is huge, and there are very little of his breed left because he was essentially the runt of that litter.
He's like all torque, bruh.
Oh yes, he is.
Remember Haley from
Yeah.
when I worked at the kennel?
I vaguely remember Boomer.
So
Yeah.
he came out kind of like a Mabari Warhound then.
When the wagon stopped and Patterson and Gray got down to unlatch the back of the wagon, Noodles comes bounding out like a 50-pound fucking freight train.
Ooh. Is he coming straight for them shins?
No, because he comes up to about chest level to both of your privates.
Oh fuck. He
That
big.
dog is bigger than I am.
That's a big
Yes.
boy. I love.
I reach down
He-
and pet Noodles, and then
He
I pull out a ball.
Ooh.
That dog is
You-
bigger than I am. That dog is heavier than I am.
you do see the look of pure, unadulterated joy in his eyes when he sees that ball. It's y'all remember the video of like the dog that leaps down the stairs when how happy he is when he starts
Mhm.
wagging. Yeah, think about that times 3.
Ooh.
Like
I think of like the corgi that's deaf, but when the mom wants to take them for a W, the hand sign is finger walks on the palm. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The dog just immediately like sees it, takes the 1 second to register it, and then immediately goes ape shit.
yeah, he's about that. He's happy, like running around, bounding, happy, like jumping clearly 6 feet into the air, happy.
Well, Snickstick does not feel like being treated as a ball, so he's going to go looking for components with my poisoner's kit.
Varigan just puts the ball into number 24's hands.
Number 24 looks up like Dobby having been given the sock.
And that is when Noodles comes rushing towards you.
I'm sturdy.
Eat the ball.
This is how I go.
Give me just give me a straight.
Number 24 is unclear on like the meaning of the gift. Like, so just stands there, like.
Throw the ball
kinda,
for Noodles.
Roll what?
Throw the ball for Noodles.
Roll
number 24 throws the ball then, if somebody says to do so.
Yeah, just you throw the ball and you immediately see Noodles' head go from ball, 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 ball. And there are a few, loud screams and laughter as Noodles runs through several people, knocking 5 over just to get to this ball.
It's like peasant bowling.
It's exactly like peasant bowling, number 24. That's what the ball is for.
Have I mentioned that dogs are my favorite thing about this plane of existence?
So the way that one plays peasant bowling is we all pick a number, and whoever picks the closest number to the number of peasants that gets knocked down in the ball retrieval process wins the pot.
You kind of get an odd look from Patterson and Gray as soon as they hear you say this. And Snickstick, what exactly are you looking for?
So I was using the poisoner's kit for plants and such because I'm trying to replenish
Your
before we get back. Oh, I do.
Using my poison knowledge to look for anything in this area that might be poisonous. So, but even with advantage, I rolled a 2 and a 3, so 9, 10.
Actually, you do find a plant. It's something that is, if used correctly, will treat stomach aches, stuff like that. Used incorrectly, it will cause small bouts of paralysis. It won't be it will just be a short moment of paralysis.
Snickstick looks it over, takes the whole thing up by the root.
All right.
And he just shouts back to like, "Hey, Lieutenant!"
I look back.
We have a pot.
Like a clay pot?
Or a jar.
A
Or a
cooking
bucket.
pot?
Something I can put dirt in that we won't need for a while.
Maybe?
You kind of see Gray kind of rush into the cart, rummage around for a bit, and pulls out a small planter's pot.
Yeah, that. Thank you, Greg.
What is it you have there?
I got a plant.
I see that. Very astute. What does it do?
Well, it has 2 functions. One is you do it the right way, and it is good stomach medicine. And literally, it can fix stomach ailments. Or you give it to me, and I spend a couple days working on it and do some bullshit to it, and it's a paralysis poison.
Ah, lovely.
Actually, 24, you do know what the plant is. I'm trying to I'll come up with name for it later. You know on site what it is. You know what it will do. You know what its effects are.
I relay it to the party. Like I give them the whole medical spiel about it.
As you're giving this medical spiel, you're kind of blank faced, like you're here, but your mind is somewhere else as someone else giving this information.
Oh, whoops, my bad. Ignore that.
Oh, like I'm somebody who actually went to medical school giving this.
Yes.
That's dope.
It's like that scene from Green Lantern when he's just reciting the knowledge from the ring, but he
Yeah,
doesn't realize
but,
that he has the knowledge.
Oddly enough, this isn't the first time this has happened.
I figured that we've seen it enough that we're used to it by now.
You all are. Other people aren't.
Will I spend the remainder of my break planting this
Do I
pot?
have a skill for that, maybe? Can I?
Do you have a greater restoration?
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I was trying to see if I had any skills that would like, because I was reading my, complaint report, and then she did the thing. So I was trying to see if like maybe there's a skill I could use like while connecting them together to maybe gain insight. I suppose it would be
Insight or investigation, but investigation would need the person in question.
Oh, so I'd just be talking to 24.
24 or the person that made the complaint.
Okay. I will go find the person that filed the complaint, and I will.
They are not in this unit.
Oh, how far back was this complaint?
This complaint was about 2 years ago.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, that's going to be I guess I'll roll an insight instead then.
Okay.
With my limited knowledge.
While you're doing that, there are other soldiers just, milling about, talking, relaxing, stretching. Some of them are practicing. There are some who are actually, throwing dice, gambling, stuff like that in the meantime.
Ooh, I'm going to fucking give them the look.
Does Max have a gambling problem?
No. No, she just thinks it's like a complete waste of time. So like she gives people the side eye when she's like, you could be using your time more wisely. She doesn't say anything, but her eyes say something. And they say, find a better hobby.
Meanwhile, Snickstick sees gambling and it's like,
All right.
Ooh, is it? Are you loading? There we go. Okay. That's not great. That's real bad.
You're really not going to be able to find anything out.
Yeah,
hey, at least
I'm
we're different
busy.
from now.
I got other thoughts. I got distracted with disciplinary thoughts.
Yep. Off into a other small distance, like in a small circle, do you hear like the sound of combat going on?
Like real combat?
Like how it would sound at us at LARP, or how it would sound at a battle?
From what you can tell, it sounds like a battle.
Okay.
But you also hear cheering and other things off in the distance.
Somebody practicing.
Do you all go to investigate?
Hell yeah.
Anybody else other than Sir Verrigan?
Yeah, I'll go. I will let respectfully my compatriots, my like higher up compatriots know that I'm pulling off to the side to just take like a little nose around.
You mean Kartha and
Yeah.
Athar?
Yeah.
They are not there.
Oh, they're not to be found. Okay. Well then it's up to
one fighting, showboating jackass.
Well then I will let the captain know, and then I will use my own discretion.
All right, so
I'm gonna go over there, but I'm not gonna be seen.
Oh Lord. All right. 24. Are you going to go, or are you
Yeah,
going to be
I'll
doing something?
go.
Okay.
I take my subordinates with me too. I
So-
have 2 nurses that I'm training to be actual surgeons.
okay. As you're walking towards there, people do move out of the way for you to see what's there. In the center of the circle, you do see Nathara and Kartha, but they are dueling each other.
Oh. Is this something that they've done before that I know of, or is this unusual?
You know that they do this constantly.
Okay, so they're just staying sharp.
Yes. Like this is something that this is actually this is how you met them as you were coming down from the mountain.
Oh, in a place like this? Okay. The old familiar sight.
Yep. Nathar seems to be using a slender longsword and a very ornate shield, while Kartha looks to be using a very large axe. And they are both using both weapons with relative ease.
As people of their caliber should. I'm gonna watch closely, just kind of see the improvements and kind of see the strategy of it.
Like they're both just practicing like throwing strikes, feinting, blocking strikes, just doing things that they've done back when they were the original 2 guards for the original rulers of fuck. Where the fuck was it? Of Blackbird.
Mm-hmm. Very dope.
Of Blackbird?
Blackbird. Of the nation of Zaska.
The mountain. Or the city at the foot of the mountain, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Like they have done this for as long as they know. Like they've known each other. They've always been like, two two opposing people, but at the exact same time they know each other.
They rivals, but also compatriots.
Yes.
Like Ash and Gary. Let's see. I'm just gonna watch it like a relaxed ease then, and just kind of enjoy the sport of it.
Like it seems like everyone else is enjoying the sport of it because they do know that both leaders are not going to harm each other.
Yeah.
But they both know that if harm does happen, that they will be able to heal from any wounds that they may inflict.
Yeah, it's not serious.
Like after maybe 5 minutes or so, they do stop and kind of open the floor for other people to, spar against other people.
Ooh, not I. I will happily watch though.
Anybody?
Stick just waddles into the arena while still stealth and then just kind of pops up. He's like, anyone want to fight the goblin?
You kind of hear like some chuckles, some, I can't believe this look like laughs from people who haven't been to the briefing about Snickstick.
Oh no.
Ooh, I'm gonna do the ye old face palm and be like, well, this is gonna end in damage control.
Nathara kind of looks like she wants to stop anyone from going in, but Kartha just shakes his head and smiles that big half-orc toothy grin and calls in the biggest guy who's talking the loudest, saying that he could beat pretty much anyone who stands in front of him.
Talking shit, getting hit.
Yes, he is.
Is this a human? Is this an orc?
It's a human.
Okay.
It's not an orc.
Kartha's smart. He knows that if he put in work in here with me, it would die.
Don't do that. That's bad. Also, right.
Right now, you're starting to hear bets.
Ooh. I am going to look very dignified, but I'm going to slide a bet to one of my underlings, you know, kind of very nonchalantly, to have them go place it on Snickstick.
All right.
Fools deserve to be separated from their money.
Right now, all the bets, or majority of the bets, are in favor of the larder man.
Oh, I'm going to be a very rich woman by the end of today.
Snickstick's just looking at this guy. Is he still talking shit?
Oh yes, he is. Think the boulder.
The
God.
boulder no longer feels conflicted.
Yes, he's talking shit in that capacity. It's like, this little bullshit goblin ain't gonna beat me. I need a real combatant. Somebody get this tiny green thing up out of here.
Ooh.
Why? You worried that this tiny green thing's gonna make you fall flat on your face? Vicious mockery.
Ooh.
Wait, do you have a level in Bard?
No, I have vicious mockery as a goblin racial.
Yeah, goblins do have vicious mockery as a racial.
That's dope as shit.
They talk shit.
Don't you need to?
I need to roll the damage, but it's a DC. I think it's DC.
It's like
No, 13.
8 plus
13
DC
right
13?
Plus
Yeah, DC 13.
Okay.
Because I'm an
DC
int-based caster.
Okay. Oh god. Remind me of the effect. All right, so remind me of the effects of this is my
You're at disadvantage on your next attack roll, and I think it's what, a D4 or D6?
Yeah, it's a D4 of psychic damage.
Okay. All right. You, as your witty remark bites deep, even though it wasn't your best work, you see his face go from, red, breathing heavy, to purple with rage.
Wow.
And he's kind of like shaking his head like, what the? I'll kill you! And, he grabs a greatsword and starts charging at you like he's literally going to kill you.
50 on Snickstick.
Snickstick doesn't have weapons out at this point. He's just waiting.
Number 24 places no bets, but gets content to watch whatever's about to happen.
This is Snickstick right now. Just finger tenting, watching this dude charge at him.
Kartha is watching this happily.
Yeah.
He has the biggest grin on his face right now.
I slide him and Nathara a look of like, this is gonna end poorly for your man. Like, I don't say anything, but I got that face.
For the record, for the viewers, Snickstick has a personality trait that says I can stare down a hellhound without flinching. So a big angry dude with a great sword charging me is not anything that I'm going to be scared of.
So, he's not that great. All right, so with disadvantage, he misses terribly.
Yikes.
As his swing comes down and misses you by a foot.
You're just making this too easy.
You start to hear, go ahead, Scooter, get him, from other guys in the background, stuff like that.
I like that everybody that's racist in our world automatically sounds like a redneck.
So is he wearing armor, or is he?
He's in, happily.
Oh. Okay.
But it kind of looks like it's been cobbled together to fit his fat ass.
Mm.
Oh, he fat.
You got anything on his head?
No. He does not have anything on his head.
Snickstick's gonna kick him.
Okay. I'm giving you advantage on this. You hit him.
Cool. So yeah, no, Snickstick just, watches him miss and then just kind of like jumps up and kicks him in the side of the head
He kind of reels
for
back for 4
for
points.
9.
For 9. Okay. He kind of reels back, like shaking his head, looking around, like he can't believe something hit him. It's like, did he just kick me? Yes, he did. That's from Kartha. It was like, he did that. It was fucking hilarious. He's real upset now. You start to see more bets coming in this guy's favor, thinking that, his strike was a fluke, the kick was a fluke, all stuff like that.
Oh, I'm going to be so rich later.
My camera is in character. This is Snickstick just bobbing his head back and forth, smiling.
He rushes you again.
I thought you were going to do the Jim from The Office where you're like,
But this time he doesn't have his sword because he let it go as soon as you kicked him.
oh.
So he's coming in barehanded. And he's still at disadvantage, correct?
I
think it's just the first one.
I think it was just the first one.
Okay. 17.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Negative.
You need
All right.
He hit me.
Yeah, he misses. Like, he goes for like a wild haymaker, and he thinks that, you're bigger than, like normal man size when you're actually, shorter than he is, and punches way above your head.
Yeah, I'm just like, he punches right ahead, and I'm like, bruh, I'm down here. And get him to look down, and I just come up with one of the, brawling haymakers.
Yes, he does look down as you say that.
And I'm gonna hit him. What am I gonna hit him with? No, I'm just gonna punch him.
You connect.
Okay. And I'm gonna use Fury of the Small.
Oh.
So I'm going to be dealing.
Yeah. Let me refresh my memory on Fury of the
It just
Small.
allows me to deal damage to one size category larger.
Okay.
Oops, that's the wrong way. Only 6.
Actually, that's enough. With your haymaker to his obviously weak jowl-like chin, he snaps his head back and kind of does that slow tree fall and hits the ground. The surrounding area is silent of his supporters. You do hear snickers and laughter from everyone else who knew that do not fuck with the only goblin that is in this army. And then you hear roaring laughter from Kartha.
I hold my hand out expectantly for my logistician to come back with all of my money.
Who all made a bet on Snickstick?
Yo.
Me.
All right. With that, you both have made about 250 gold pieces.
Ooh, that's going straight to my components.
Snickstick just goes over and picks up the greatsword.
It's a little bit heavier for you, but actually make a strength check.
Oh, that's my bad skill.
Hey man, anything can happen. You know what? You're able to actually move it.
Dope.
It's still like the point of it is still dragging as you pick it up.
I mean, cool. I just go and I walk over to the dude who brawled me, and I just kind of like thump it on his chest,
He
like
kind of
to put it down on top of him with a not so gentle drop.
he kind of like makes that oof sound and sits up, looks at you, like in complete disbelief that he lost to a goblin.
Good fight. It's like, by the way, I'm Scout Captain Snickstick.
He kind of doesn't say anything. He just tries to get up. A few of his friends have to help get him up and take his sword away. And at that, like other small just small little practice bouts happen because everyone had to see their respective captains fight. Then they got to see the spectacle of Scooter versus Snickstick.
Scooter? Ooh, that's embarrassing. Whose man's is this? Is what I would say if I was not my character who's very stoic.
As all of this goes on, as the day, starts slightly winding down, Cartha does call it into it and tells everyone to mount up and that it'll be at least 2 more days before you all reach the rest of the army.
Plenty of time to carve glyphs in everybody's shit.
Can you carve glyphs on chain?
I don't think so. It would probably have to be something kind of solid. It doesn't have to be armor. It can be something on your person.
Okay.
So you all are going to have time to just, communicate amongst yourselves for now, because I am going to give you all like the rest of this day to communicate, do stuff, talk to other people. And then one more day. Then the following day after that is just going to be, skipped until you all reach the academy.
Okay.
Okay.
You do see both Patterson and Gray look to be counting coins amongst themselves.
Snickstick just looks over at them and is like, how much you get?
$250 each.
There you go. Don't say I never did anything for you.
It was fucking hilarious. This
Y'all-
was from Gray.
Y'all boys stay away from the racetrack now.
Well, the racetrack isn't fun. It's all fixed.
And that wasn't?
Well,
That was-
really,
Y'all knew going in who was going to win that.
I mean,
normally I would take a strong dislike
half of
to
everyone
gambling, but that idiot deserved it.
knew. I mean, he didn't go to the briefing.
Always go to your briefings.
That would be a failure on his commanding officer's part, which is not my problem.
To be fair, he kind of got chewed out after that, but I think the story goes that Cartha just, once he found out, had a large smile on his face and just said, everything will be fine. One day it'll happen and I will laugh. And it happened. And he laughed.
The man takes extra joy in his disciplinary action.
Well, that's because
Oh.
Cartha wants a reason to kill me, and I've given him plenty, but he can't.
I'm pretty sure Cartha doesn't want to kill you. He just wants to see other people try dumb shit to try and fight you.
Look, I didn't say this, but I respect Cartha, even if I don't like him.
You don't have to like a man to respect him.
I mean, why do you think he's, excuse me, took the time to, fight you, Snake Sixer, whenever you went after him?
I figured it's because he was bored.
That, and he kind of saw potential in you?
Well, like I told him, I wasn't up for another ass beating after we did the night raid on the Hobbs.
I mean, that's fair. You do see that Patterson is moved from the front of the car to the back and looks to be taking care of some plants.
My plants?
No, these are plants that he's taking care of.
Snickstick's looking at the plants like, what you got?
I used to, before the war broke out even further, I used to work for an herbalist.
Oh, neat.
So it's just something to keep my nerves steady.
That's how you got a potter's plant so fast. Got it.
Yeah. Well, Gray found the extra one I had. I'll just get more later, whenever we can.
I mean, fair.
I'm pretty sure I don't want to use a skull for pottery. But
Well,
if I have to,
it depends. If you use it right, it's actually very aerated, so it's good for transferring because the roots won't get all clumped because they can grow outwards out of the eye sockets in the nose.
Might give a very dignified, demure air to a solemn plant.
They make
does-
very good succulent pots.
he kind of gives you an odd look and starts thinking about it. It's like, so that's why. Okay, never mind. It's starting to make more sense now. Is that Varrigan playing?
Yeah. Just kind of.
Strumming along?
Yeah, he just kind of grabs a lute out of his pack and just kind of starts listening quietly. And he says, "Remember, boys, you don't have to like a man to respect him. You don't have to respect a man to follow him. As a matter of fact, you don't have to like or respect a man to follow him. Just remember."
You do hear Nick Lilly pipe up, "Then why the hell are you following me?"
Mostly profit, and you keep me alive.
That's fair. After a few more hours ride, you all do stop again because it is getting dark and everyone is starting to make camp for the night. You do see people setting up their tents. You do see Cartha and eventually I will get used to saying these names. Nathara actually setting up their tents by themselves. They don't want anyone to assist them. Anyone that tries to get near Cartha, he does, growl at them.
It's like, oh, I think it's my turn on the cooking time.
Greg kind of pulls out a small notebook and just flips through several pages. He just goes through and is like, well, I'll be damned it is.
What you making, Snickstick?
Snickstick, who is like doing the ass over tea kettle into his barrel, pulls out actual, like, honest to goodness cooking utensil tools.
And
That
they're
he is
clean.
proficient in. and is like, oh, I'm gonna go see what I can find.
I've got some onions.
I think we have a few rabbits that we traded while you guys were away on that mission.
Bet we could get some beans too.
Pretty sure you can get beans anywhere in this camp. That was from Patterson.
I like beans.
As everyone's setting up, Snickstick goes on a little excursion to find game / whatever the hell.
As you're walking along, you do see other people, around with you. They all have, bows and stuff like that. So other people had the exact same idea as you.
Forage for supplies.
Yes, because you're all just a ways out from. Let's see. You're actually out into the plains now, but the forest is still maybe an hour behind you.
Well, it's how the old saying goes. An army marches on their stomach.
So you're going to be hunting with the hunting group.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. What is everyone else doing?
After we have like everyone's area established, I'm gonna take the time to set up my alarm ritual per usual, because you can never be too careful.
Okay. Varigan.
Well, they're off hunting, so Varigan will see about organizing the cooking fire so when they get back they can get to it, and also cracks open a bottle of wine.
Number 24 proceeds to get wine drunk with Varigan and prepare to make dinner.
Oh Lord.
Mags, you want in on some of this?
No, thank you. I need to keep a clear head while I do this.
It's only wine.
No, thank you. Very good.
Eat yourself.
Use with her little bell and her silver wire.
Max, as you're doing that, you do see Nathara come up, but she's not in her armor. She looks to be in just, standard traveling attire.
Ma'am?
Mind if I join all of you?
Would you like to drink?
It is.
Please do.
What are we drinking?
It's a red wine that I got from a vineyard down the road. That way, behind us, a ways.
You got it from Evan Reach, didn't you?
No, before that.
Before that. That was okay. She knows where you got it from. And she does sit down and does take a drink.
Yeah, he pours her. I assume we're all at mugs at this standpoint, because glass is not really a road friendly.
Glass or metal.
Yeah.
Like metal cups.
Yeah, he fills her cup.
Oh. It's much quieter here, but Kartha is drinking with the rest of the men and regaling them of the tale of Snickstick. She looks around, is like, where is he?
Hunting, it's his turn to cook.
Okay, as long as he's not going after Kartha, that's perfectly fine.
We'll put some beans on while he's out, just so they have a chance to cook through, so that he can add them to whatever.
You kind of see Nathara just do this at the mention of beans.
Not a bean person.
I have been eating beans for 10 years.
Only beans?
No, not only beans, but on the field, it's very difficult to find actual food.
Beans peasants keep well. It's a good way to
Being
feed.
stupid.
It's a good way to feed an army.
Okay. Do you suppose I have any spells prepared for making food? Probably not. That's not really what I prepared for. Nope.
Kenny. Oh, so 26 on your survival.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. I'm actually gonna make the. All right. So you and the survival hunting party are out foraging, stuff like that. They can't really seem to find much of anything, while you manage to spot something big moving.
And we're in the plains.
You're on the edge of the forest at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go after it. Bigger the
Stealth
better,
check.
in my opinion.
Hold on. Let me actually. Never mind. It doesn't fucking see you.
Holy shit.
That's a nat 20 on a stealth check for me.
Yes, I know.
The
saw
alternative
the-
was in
I-
that one.
I'm
Damn.
glad I
I
didn't
saw
have
the
disadvantage on it.
31. I was like,
Fuck, dude, you're invisible.
Yeah, man.
you've stealthed so well. The insects don't know you're there. You are not disturbing the grass that you're on. That's how
Man,
stealthy
I haven't
you
even
are.
cast Reckless Step yet.
Snake Stick has learned how to cover.
About 10 feet away from you, you see a rather large boar. And when I mean a rather large boar, this boar is bigger than you.
I mean, that's not hard to be. I'm only 3.5 feet tall.
This boar, you're looking up and you, yeah, it's big. Advantage.
Oh yeah.
Actually, don't roll advantage. Don't make any rolls yet. Where are you trying to hit?
Oh, I'm going for the throat.
You're going for the throat?
Yeah. I don't have a spear on me, so I can't go for its heart. But I do have my rapier on me, so I might be able to go for its brain. I'm going to go for the brain stem, base of the neck shot.
All right. Whatever you roll, add 8.
Add what?
Add 10 to that roll.
So you want me to add an additional 10 on top of my bonuses?
Mm-hmm. You hit it.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Describe your kill, because I'm not letting you roll damage on this.
What? It's only level 5 sneak attack with a rapier.
I'm not letting you roll damage on it because the 31 stealth, it does not know you're there. You are literally going to kill this thing.
I'm assuming this thing is like digging for truffles or some shit.
Yes.
So I sneakily happy my ass up into a tree, and then I just kind of like fall on top of it, putting the full weight of my thrust, so to speak, into the single point behind its neck, right at the base of its skull, and just let my body weight and the gravity do the rest of the work for me.
All right. As you descend and your rapier connects, do you feel a bit of resistance as it makes contact with the spine? but then you don't feel anything at all. You kind of feel the bar kind of jerk for maybe a second and then kind of teeter to the side.
Hey guys, I found dinner.
You do see torchlight coming towards you because some of these guys can't see in the dark.
Oh yeah, I have dark vision 60 feet.
Yep. Which is why you saw it before before some of them. One of the guys, a human, goes like, "Holy shit, that is a big fucking boar."
Pulling my rapier out of its brainstem, and I'm like, yeah, it'll be good eating.
One guy says, "Oh shit, this kind of looks like round 2 of him versus Scooter if it was to the death."
And if I use weapons.
One guy starts pulling out rope, and they start getting to work to tying it up and dragging it the rest of the way back to camp.
I sit on it and just ride it back.
Okay. Everybody else, what is currently going on as you're all waiting for Snick Stick and the rest of the hunting party to return with food?
I listened to Nathara talk about whatever she's talking about. Sometimes because fucking shit, where is his name? I wrote it down.
Kartha?
Yeah, Kartha, that's right. I wrote a Z for some reason. That's not his name. Sometimes I feel like she can be a little overlooked, so I'm listening to her.
Actually, she wants to hear more from you all about what happened with you all, with everyone, because she's trying to piece everything together.
In what regard?
Like the abduction, what happened during the abduction.
Okay. Well, that was quite jarring. We were scouting out some caves when we were ambushed, which is difficult to do considering, a team.
Mhm.
And we were bound. I think their first mistake was they employed goblins. No offense to present company.
I'm not there.
Oh, that's right. She says it anyway. She doesn't know if you're there or not. And we managed to escape. They were drow with unusual symbols on their armor. They spoke of a forgotten god. They mentioned a name. I don't know where my notebook is right now, so I don't remember the name.
I remember bat motifs.
Yeah, it was like, it was
Someone
bad.
else shows it to her.
She goes back over it and looks at the armor, the bat symbol, everything else, and she kind of goes, "This looks new, but the iconography looks old, older than I am."
Not to be rude, but how old is that?
I'm only 75.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, you look fantastic.
Thank
So that would put it closer to a century then? Maybe more?
More by my guess, but I can't really tell. The only way we could Morrow might know, but we'd have to go and find him, and no one wants to talk to Morrow, especially after the last engagement. His his hair caught on fire.
Do I know who Moro is?
You all know who Moro is. Moro Proudmead is one of the other leaders.
Oh, okay.
He is the leader of the nation of Atron.
So he's still sore about it then.
Oh, he's not happy. His stock of, I don't know why he keeps dyeing it odd colors, but I think it was purple at that point in time. I don't understand halflings, but that one is very, very strange.
It seems festive. They're jolly people, to my understanding.
It made him stand out a little bit more, so it kind of made him much bigger target. But we could go to him and ask, or we can ask Artis. But if we ask Artis, we'd have to go to Crosa, and I really don't want to go to Crosa. It's
Silly place.
It's a stifling place.
It is a silly place. Do I know where she's talking about?
Yes.
What's it like?
Crota is the capital city of the nation of Stalor. And it is the seat of the nations itself. It is basically where everything is convened. A lot of war councils with everyone is met there. And it is also it also hosts the largest library.
Mm-hmm. Libraries are good. Knowledge is important.
But if we go to either of them, we'd have to go. If we go tomorrow, we'd have to deal with his rambling. If we go to Atris, it's you'd have to deal with his. She kind of makes this motion, trying to word this correctly, and kind of looks to Sir Verrigan. It's like, that's right. How did I forget? He's high nobility. Awesome. So we'd have to deal with that.
Oh, so he's an
Not
ass.
so bad. Just have to know how to talk to these people.
I'm sure you do enough talking for most of us, Marion.
Let's just say he would leave you very, very tired, Verrigan.
Oh. Well, I don't know about that. Exhaustion is something I'm quite familiar with, dealing with some of the other people.
He tried his best, and I mean his best, to court, if I remember the story correctly, Jades. He tried to court the warlock mistress of Ashil.
Oh, did he now?
Yes, but
I
he
assume
did
that
it in a
ended
manner.
Tears.
No, it didn't end in tears. It ended in laughter
Oh, I was about
from
to say,
her.
I was about to say, I think the second question would have been, did it end in immolation? Because that would have also been...
Say, Tears is getting off lucky.
She's, if I remember correctly, she doesn't like burning people, as more of using that odd weapon of hers. Verrigan, you do know that she is a Hexblade warlock.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And you do know that she does like to literally be in combat. She doesn't like to be behind on enemy lines. She likes to actually be in combat.
Good for her. Someone's got to do it, and it's not going to be me.
Very unusual.
Oh, I think the hunting party has returned, and is that snake stick on a boar?
I believe that's exactly what that is.
It's not the most unusual thing I've seen all day.
As you all do notice, because I'm not making you all roll perception for this, you do notice that the boar is fucking massive.
Yeah.
We talking like Robert Baratheon boar?
Yeah, Robert Baratheon boar.
Oh, that's rough. Bobby B.
Snake Stick's just riding into the camp on the back of this dead boar while a group of humans and other things are pulling it along, and he's just shouting orders and being like, all right, take this to the kitchen or the mess tent or wherever the fuck we're going. I don't know. Cartha, make yourself useful.
You
Get your big green smelly ass over here and help us cut up some boar.
reflex.
Can I see it?
You see a hand axe being thrown at you.
Yeah, I figured. I figured it was something to that reflect. It was something of that vein of bullshit. Because Snake Stick doesn't know that he's been drinking. Where the fuck is? Oh, there it is.
You manage to dodge just in time for it to land very soundly into the boar.
Thank you.
Bare inches away from your leg. And when I mean inches, I mean if you move your leg, you can see that your pants have been cut.
Oh, he's in a mood.
You did call the man smelly.
The Thar does point the rest of the men to the kitchen tents, and they drag the boar along. And she does look to you, Stick Stick, and say, I will make sure that your portion of the meat is brought to your camp
What are you talking
first. She
I'm cooking.
She does
Snake
point.
Stick just appears a chef hat out of his bag.
It is his turn.
For your camp, possibly, not for all of us.
I'm not gonna do anything to the food, except for appropriately season it and cook it.
So you're saying you're going to cook for the entirety of this camp?
I mean, do you see the size of that boar?
She just puts her hands up, doesn't say a word, and just goes back to her tent.
It'll keep him busy.
All right.
Looks like
So
meat's back on the menu, boys.
I ain't been having nothing but raggedy ass beans for 10 fucking years.
Oh, fuck. That's funny. Raggedy ass beans.
We are gonna just pass this night along. Like, actually, give me a cooking check, just to see how well you cook this huge shit boar.
What is the cooking skill?
It's being proficient with cooking tools.
Fair. So you add your proficiency and then your tool proficiency. Gotcha.
Hush.
Who crying over there?
Take a guess.
Oh, sorry, he
Oh,
crying.
I hear him tappy tapping.
We can hear you. Come here.
I don't hear him making noise. I just heard his nails tap tapping. He is
And that's
sweet.
with tools, so at advantage, 17.
Oh, bless you.
You managed to cook this boar up surprisingly well. Like pretty much everyone is eating good tonight.
Yep. Oh, and
And-
that's with cooking tools during a long rest, and I'm prepped with proper tools and with proper equipment and helpers.
Yes, you
So everyone gets a bonus. If it were to matter, you get bonus health replenishment when cooking tools are used in preparation.
Good to know.
Basically, if anyone was hurt today for somehow or some other, they heal extra.
Only Scooter was hurt, but only his pride.
Oh, that's going to take a while to recover. He got beat by a goblin in hand-to-hand combat, and the goblin went bare-fisted at him.
So we are going to pass this night along. Like everyone is getting the benefit of a long rest. Since I'm pretty sure no one really cast anything of significance. Right?
Huh? What's up?
Like we're passing the night along.
Oh yeah, no. The only thing that I cast was the alarm spell, and then the glyph and the shield on Axel's boarding, and then hand it back. That's about it.
All right. So as the night's going on, and everything else. Number 24. You start to have a dream.
Ooh.
Like a drunk asleep on the ground dream.
Oh no, this isn't a drunk asleep on the ground dream. This is a dream of you're starting, like in your subconscious mind, you are the person you used to be.
Who was that?
Who you were. 'Cause, like whatever name you had beforehand, whatever personality you had beforehand is there. It's just very buried under the trauma and everything else you went over before you became number 24.
I did give her a name, and now I have to like look it up because I don't.
We will worry about the name later. So in this dream, you are in a very, very dark forest. Okay?
Okay.
But you also get a sense that you're not alone in this dark force. You get a sense that something is there with you.
I look around.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Well, with that, you will be able to see this because it's not really hiding itself from you.
Okay.
What you see is a rather large scorpion.
What's rather large? Like size of my hand, size of a car?
You see a gargantuan scorpion.
You said rather large. That's like super subjective. Gargantuan is like dials it in a whole lot more.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
that big.
I don't know.
Because that's like a 30 by 30, right?
The scorpion is just there.
Number
And
24
you can feel that it's looking at you.
takes a step back and like looks behind herself like, where am I gonna bail out to?
I got that one. That one
When you
empty,
look
but I'm gonna
back,
get
it looks like the forest is closing in on you. Like there's no means of escape.
Do I know this is a dream? Like, am I aware it's a dream state?
Not really. You're kind of very nervous, very terrified at this point. Because this isn't 24. This is the person you used to be. So your fear is kind of heightened.
It's just like compounding.
Yes.
Yeah, I freeze up. I just freeze up.
The scorpion doesn't make any move towards you, but you do see the stinger slowly inch its way towards you.
Um, I'm gonna roll a die just for my own purposes. This is
You are not able to move.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna roll to see if I fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
Yeah.
As the
up.
stinger is getting terribly closer, you see it almost touching your forehead. You wake up. And you wake up screaming.
Yeah, I wake up screaming then.
Oh, I'm awake.
As you're screaming, I'm pretty sure everyone in the surrounding area is awake. You start to hear weapons being drawn, people coming out of tents, people thinking that they're under attack. But when people start to see that it's nothing and it's coming from your wagon, Patterson and Gray kind of go through the not so slight routine of waking you up, but also keeping your weapons out of arm's reach, because the last time this happened, you grabbed your mace and hit one of them.
Oh no, babies.
Yeah, I start trying to like unstrap my armor and stuff.
So you slept in your armor?
I start trying to unstrap my armor.
Okay.
That sounds
They're trying to help you, but also trying to make sure you're awake, like consciously awake.
I'm just freaking out. I'm just like completely derealizing. I'm like, this isn't real. I'm not real. I'm not here.
So does anyone go to help her?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see what the fuss is, because that's not okay.
Okay. You see Patterson and Gray trying to assist 24 out of her armor, and that she has this wide-eyed look of terror, something you've probably never seen on her face before.
Oh, that's disconcerting. 24, are you hurt?
Number 24 just keeps repeating nonsense about the scorpion.
Oh boy.
As you're constantly repeating your nonsense about the scorpion, you do hear, what scorpion is she talking about?
I turn
As
around.
Kartha and Nathara are both standing there.
I tell them the scorpion that killed me.
They both kind of have this odd look. It's like, what do you mean killed you? You're alive. You're standing right here.
But I'm not me.
What is she talking about?
Is this something that 24 has done before, or is this new?
Not to this extent. You've known that she does have what appears to be night terrors, but this one is worse.
Okay. That's weird. Let me use my big brain, maybe, to gain some insight.
Okay.
Maybe? Would that be correct? Medicine?
Yeah.
Insight?
Actually, insight.
Okay. Fuck, man, my insights have not been great. Yeah, that
you don't really know what's going on, but you do relay that this is possibly the worst of what's happened.
Yeah. It's never been to this extent before. I'm trying to recall. I don't think that the drow mentioned anything about the scorpion. I think they were all about the bat. Hello? Oh, Tissy, come back. Give me more Tissy. No, Tissy! Hold How dare he?
How dare
He give me singular forehead Tissy and then run away.
Cartha looks like he's contemplating what you just told him, while Nathara looks to be thinking about it a lot more. And it kind of seems like they are more wide awake than they need to, like wanted to be at this point in time.
Yeah. They seem on edge.
At the moment, yes.
That's a
Nathara does tell you to, make sure that she's calm. And once she's calm, make sure that she at least gets some water and some rest.
yeah.
Because within the next 2 hours, we are going to be packing up camp and moving on.
Okay. So I will endeavor to procure some sort of calming thing. We do like some warm milk with some like nutmeg or something in it.
Snickstick just pokes out of his barrel and is like, just holds a vial of questionable liquid. Mm-hmm.
What is this?
It help her calm down.
To what extent?
Night, night, night.
So we're drugging her then.
Number 24 seems unfazed by this suggestion.
I would like to ask 24 if she would like the substance to help her sleep and calm down.
Well,
you
No,
actually see Gray go and start brewing a tea
No,
to
I'm
kind
sure
of assist with this.
much more pleasant that way. Questionable liquid. We don't just give our friends questionable liquid.
Speak for yourself.
Once he's done making the tea, he does hand it back. And he basically says, hopefully the tea will help. But if you have to add more things to it to, help get her to calm down and go back to sleep, then this will make the process a lot easier.
We'll try more casual is not the word I'm looking for. More orthodox means before we go to using sleepy substances.
No,
So-
I'm fine with pharmaceuticals.
Are you sure?
Yes,
All right.
I'm a doctor. I invented pharmaceuticals.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, she is a doctor. I mean, she's a cleric.
Yeah, but did she invent the concept of pharmaceuticals?
No, but I probably invented
And-
various pharmaceuticals while out on the field of battle when we don't have a whole lot.
That's
And
fair.
in her 24 mind, in her current state, she thinks she
Damn.
has invented pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I give it to her. It's fine. I let her take it herself. She an adult.
Does 24 take the
Mhm.
All right.
She took the Snickstick special.
The Snick Stick special.
With the tea. So yes.
All right. Con save.
And con save.
Yeah, man. At night nugget.
All right. Constitution save.
15.
Oh boy. Con save failure.
Okay. Let's go on my con save is. Plus 2.
Good night.
Next.
Next 4 hours, you are in basically just the blank white space of nothingness.
Perfect.
You
My favorite.
are asleep.
Great.
Asleep
And
as fuck.
Gray and Patterson assist in removing the rest of your armor, setting it in a nice, neat pile, and attempting to go back to sleep themselves.
Yeah, she needs to stop sleeping in her armor. That's not conductive for rest. Conducive, not conductive. God, I cannot talk.
All right. So, as the rest of the night wears on and dawn is fastly approaching, you do hear the sounds of everyone else who stayed awake after hearing 24 scream bloody fucking murder start to strike up camp. Some people are scraping together bits of stew from the boar from last night. There have been bits of it that have been set out to dry over the night. And one of the butchers came back to camp, y'all's camp, and brought a bag of salted pork. And he also brought Snick Stick, the boar's tusks.
I thank him.
He thanks you for the meal because he would have hated for to have to try and cook a boar that was stabbed all to hell, riddled with arrows, and try to unfuck what anyone may have done to the food.
Nope. One clean shot.
And with that, the camp is slowly getting itself prepared to move out. And 24 is out like a goddamn like.
It's better this way. Oh, that sounded bad. Whatever that was that fell in the other room. I'll be right back. Let me check on that.
Was it Anna?
I don't think so. What was that? Someone knocked something over? Okay. Sounded like
All right. So, while we wait on the rest of them to return, 24, you don't have any more dreams.
well, it's fucked.
You don't have any more visions of scorpions or anything else like that for the moment. But I will mark that down as one of your other little visits. Right. The camp is, picking up now. People are mounting up. Who's going to drive the wagon? Or is Nick Newley and the privates driving the wagon?
I mean, they can.
Right. Does Nick Stick want to drive the wagon for once?
Is Snick Stick allowed to drive the wagon?
I don't know
From time to time with supervision. The last time you did it, it was during moving from one town to the next, and there was a small band of orcs that you spotted before anyone else. And your immediate response was to you spurred the horses on to a point where they charged.
Charged the orcs charged us.
You charged the orcs. You surprised the fuck out of the orcs that were going to ambush you.
Oh. Vindication!
And after that fact, the rest of the the rest of your company had a very strong reprimand just to you, saying that that's the cavalry's job, not yours, and not in one of our supply wagons. And when I mean not in one of our supply wagons, not in one of the supply wagons that were assigned to a fresh Patterson and Gray, because that was their first interaction with you, was you driving the wagon with them because they didn't know how to.
Good time.
You spying orcs and then charging directly towards them. All right. So the camp is now on the move. You're all making your way in the direction of the army. And at this point, we are going to take a small break.
All right.
So we will be back in 10 minutes. Continue this on. All right. See everybody in 10 minutes.
Yeet.
All right, everybody, welcome back. When we last, when we last left for a break, the camp has struck up, is moving out again. You're moving further and further into the plains. You're starting to see like toppled structures, like strewn about here and there. You kind of come across what looks to be like an old road, but it's kind of covered over with the tall grass, and it looks to be like it was not very maintained at all. Like most people are kind of looking at it for the very first time because a lot of people haven't been out this far. And off into the distance, you kind of can make out a mountain. At this time, everyone else is kind of a little bit anxious to get back to the rest of the main force. There are guys who are just kind of aiming, like absolutely sharpening weapons as they ride. There are a few people who are just talking amongst themselves. There are a few who are like lightly playing instruments. They kind of like keep up morale a little bit. Patterson and Gray are, riding with Nick Newley. Nick Newley is the one driving the cart. He's again being, quiet, thoughtful. At this point in time, 24, you do wake up.
I wake up feeling better than I did.
Yep. You do notice that you're not in your armor.
I put it back on. Not really stressing why it's off.
Because it's not comfy to sleep in. As she starts stirring, I want to like kind of poke my head in and check in on her. In so many words, basically just kind of look in, like, doing okay?
Number 24 nods, gives a thumbs up, and just gets on her way.
As you're awake, you kind of feel like something big laying next to you.
Is it Noodle?
Yes, it's Noodle.
Oh, the babe.
As you were asleep, he was sleeping next to you because he was very worried.
Oh. I forgot we have Dog in this campaign. Dog must become central part of campaign.
Yes.
Oh no. So when you wake up, Noodle gets like kind of does that, alerts like, oh, you're awake. Is it food time?
Number 24 will go find him something to eat and find herself something to eat.
There is a bag specifically with Noodle written on it. That is a bag that is just his food only. And you do manage to find some of the salted pork.
Okay, I mean, I'll feed him.
He goes about eating like a very large dog would. But it kind of does give you that, pawing whine of like, I gotta go.
Can you repeat what you said? I get cut out like partway through.
Noodle gives you that, sets a massive paw on your leg. It's like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Yeah, we go.
All right. Are you going to like mount on him to go?
No, we'll just walk
Because
off.
okay. All right. So both number 24 and Noodle get off of the cart. The cart does stop for them to get off. And Noodle does, kind of start searching for a place to use the bathroom. Other people in the army kind of see this and just leave it alone because A, not their dog, not their problem, and B, if anything tries to attack Noodle, Noodle can probably kill it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it.
The sweet baby. If anything happens to Noodle, I will kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Oh God. It's pretty much going to be kind of uneventful. The only thing that may be eventful is, someone spying, other animals. Like you do spot large cats. You spot wolves. There are people who are making signs when they see wolves,
What do you mean making signs?
like signs of reverence.
Oh.
Wolf
Like
God go Aru.
I mean, I feel no connection to it really, so
I like cats. Cats are dope.
I just wait for Noodle to finish doing dog stuff.
After maybe like 10 minutes or so, Noodle does come back. But Noodle does have like a large fat hair in his mouth.
Oh. Number 24 is pleased by this. She takes it and gives Noodle pat paps.
Noodle is happy that he's being praised.
I take the hair back to everybody else and just hand it off to somebody who can prepare and cook it because it ain't going to be me.
Stick just looks at you and is like, you just stole food from Noodle.
He'll get his due. We're a pack.
Oh, this is that tax.
Mm,
The I'm in charge tax.
yeah.
Noodle kind of looks up at you, Snick Stick, and kind of has that in an odd way of understanding from like a big dumb dog. He's like, yeah.
I'm just imagining Petey.
Oh my god, just a giant Petey. Oh, I love so much. Man, if only I were a fawny character. I'd be like, oh, baby. Oh, I love dogs so much.
Like, well then.
So after a few more hours of riding, moving along, you all do stop for a bit so everyone can rest. It's pretty much the same as last time. But, instead of the, practice pit, there are just people sparring about. And you do see Scooter and his cronies walk past your tent, and he kind of pointedly does not look at Snick Stick at all.
I give him a very stern up thrust of my chin as like a sort of silent, like, move along.
Oh, he's moving along. He's just like he refused
Move along
to.
before we pull the goblin out.
He refuses to acknowledge that he got beat by a goblin.
Mm. What? Like, yeah.
At this point in time, Nick Newley does call everyone over.
Okay.
So
I just pull the Oscar and just kind of pop out of my barrel. I'm like, what?
Get out of the barrel.
Fine.
All right. So we're moving a lot faster than they originally anticipated. So we'll probably be there before it gets dark.
Oh,
I
He
do
kinda-
love a tight ship.
He kind of does point off into the distance and give me a perception check, all of you.
Hey,
Who was the first one?
me.
No. The
Oh, the
five.
first one that was Snick Stick.
Am I rolling it
Snickstick's
too?
got like
Yes,
Perception.
really red eyes,
perception. Yes.
and some
Yep.
some liquid running out of them, and there's a suspicious trail of smoke in his barrel.
Oh,
You little
No,
hot
we
box.
threw in something.
Don't worry, you see it. You do see like bits of smoke off into the distance, and you can all tell these are campfire smokes.
I can.
Yes, you can, in your very high state of mind.
It wasn't deliberate, I swear.
It's like we're only few hours out, so this won't take long. I don't want to write up a report, but I have to. It's gonna take all day.
Is he saying this in that dramatic way while looking
Yes.
my way?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No.
Well, that
not.
sounds a whole lot like a you problem, sir. Respectfully.
I'm pretty sure your problem is tall, red-haired, white-streaked, and very pissed off.
Probably smoldering. Maybe even embering.
Maybe. So, let's not piss anybody off any more than we already have.
Duly noted, sir.
And hopefully we can figure out what the hell we need to do, how big this enemy force is, and hopefully make it out of this bullshit alive.
Now, see, that sounds like a me problem.
That sounds like an all of us problem.
Well, that sounded like a gathering information problem.
Just don't cause trouble. That's all I'm asking you all to do.
All I'm hearing is Snick Stick, go seal yourself in the barrel and resume your brewing.
Yes, do that.
Cool. I'm taking the day to craft potions.
He's good.
Anybody else taking a day to do something?
Yes. So
Okay.
I find 24
Mhm.
and let's see. I ask for a pauldron from her armor. Wait, do you have solid armor?
Mhm.
Okay, I ask for a pauldron.
I'll give it.
Okay. I take it without a word. And I'm gonna do a glyph, and I'm gonna use haste for the glyph. That's gonna take me a while.
Okay.
Let me find the conditions for haste for Haley. Where that shit? There we go. Boop. There we go. So, as far as being triggered, it would be triggered when 24 is attacked.
Okay.
Because 24 got them little legs.
I'm only wee.
She's only wee.
I'm only wee.
All right. Verrigan, what are you going to be doing for the time being? You do spy a few. No, this is not your unit. All right. All right. So everyone takes the remaining of time and travel to take care of personal needs, take care of other people's armor, mounts, take stock of everything. Patterson and Gray are making sure the horses are fine, the wagon isn't damaged in any sort of way. They are looking after their own equipment and just basically talking with anyone else that, eventually stops to talk to them over time. And after a while, the smoke in the distance starts getting closer. And as you're all getting closer and closer, you start to see the camp. And we are moving. Wrong fucking thing. All right. And if I can move the player tag, this is what you all see.
Can't say.
Yep.
Should
You
we take
see-
the ruins in the river in canon as well?
No, that is not there.
Okay.
It was just, I was just looking for, I just need something basic. All right, there it is. I just needed a general idea of what you all are going to see. Because you literally see a sea of tents. You do see a few griffins flying around, a few hippogriffs flying around. You spy the odd, not odd, you spy a few cloud giants roaming around also.
I'm sorry, you said cloud giants?
Cloud giants, yes.
Oh. Okay.
And it is at this point in time when both Nathar and Kartha are pulling up to your wagon and basically says, well, we are here. Your unit shouldn't be too far. If you can't find them, we're pretty sure Christopher will find you. Because we're pretty sure someone went to go tell him. We are going to join up with the rest of our force and possibly talk with the other leaders about certain things. We will come and get most of you when we start to plan for battle.
Please do.
And with that, they leave, and their men start going off with them. At that point in time, you do see Scooter and his boys. Scooter does make a pointed look at Snickstick, and kind of does this across his neck.
I make a point to kind of step in his line of sight and ask if he has a problem and refer to him by his rank, which I'm assuming is lower than mine.
Oh yes, it's very lower than yours.
It's a very pointed, like, I'm going to speak to your manager if you don't get the fuck out of here.
Like he kind of backs up a little bit and goes off. His boys follow suit. One of them does make a apology because he seems like the more level-headed one out of the group.
Your apology will be noted in my report to your superiors.
And he makes another apology and follows the rest of them.
It's like, what? It was a fucking group training exercise, and I just did the training. I actually didn't do anything wrong this time.
I'm not upset with you.
You
Like,
kind of hear,
when I'm actually not doing anything wrong.
you do hear Patterson just say, I mean, he did get his ass beat by you. When you think about it, the guy was, what, 7 feet tall? Built like,
Had his Weetabix.
built like, you know, he was a golem of some sort. His armor looked like, shit, what the hell did his armor look like?
Patchwork.
Yes,
Yeah, you were
patchwork.
like patchwork half plate.
Yeah. And yeah, most people don't want to admit that they got their ass beat by someone smaller than them.
All right, we serving up humility stew up in this kitchen.
But he stepped into the ring. It's his own damn fault.
He did. Cartha. Well, I'm pretty sure Cartha will reprimand him once he gets a report, or Nathara will. Cartha is the easier of the reprimands, but his reprimands involves
Throwing axes.
Throwing axes, or something I've heard called a suplex.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've gotten hit by one of those. Those hurt a lot.
If the report is given to Nathara, on the other hand, oh boy, there's
Oh, is
There's
it going
no
to be a
place
big
in it.
fucking problem if she gets it?
oh, it's
He's
gonna
probably
be
going to be
worse.
on retrieving duty until he dies.
I'm going to give it to Lothara then.
Nathara will probably send him back and make him deal with mountain duty, which I hear is rough. It's very, very rough because you're out in the freezing cold elements, and the tallest mountain in Vultyr.
Good. I'm going to make sure she gets it. Because I can't trust that dude to take care of my dudes, and if you can't take care of your own and put aside your pride, we don't need you.
You know what? That's fair. And at that point, you kind of hear Patterson make a small squeaking sound.
I kind of like look over at him. Not in like any kind of way, just like, you're right over there? Like,
All he
I don't
does
say anything.
is point to the left, and everyone make a perception check.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go ahead and think that I already know what it is, and Snick's going to go into panic mode, and you just hear the sound of hammer and nail on the inside of the barrel.
Perception. It's not good. I'm busy being mad as fuck writing up my disciplinary report.
Because of because of Gray's noise, you're all going to be able to see it. Striding towards you, very, very angrily,
Oh fuck.
is a very thin, very tall man. He is in fine red robes that look like they are singed at the cuffs and at the bottom. His hair is dark red, but there is a white streak running from this side of his head back.
Does this man look like a wizard?
Oh, he looks very much like was he? What would we say? He was a wizard or sorcerer? Can he? Sorcerer.
Okay, so he magic as fuck, just different.
Oh,
All right.
no. He's a wizard.
Oh.
So he's literally stomping towards you, eyeing the barrel.
Hammering intensifies.
I'm gonna let the captain handle it.
Sounds song.
You all know this man as Christopher. He was assigned to this unit, and he was the one who brought Snickstick with him. If you all know that if anyone has enough badges to control Snickstick, it's him.
That's true.
Snick Stick, you hear a knocking on your barrel.
No, no, no home.
The knocking continues.
The sawing hits the frenzy pace.
What was that?
The sawing hits the frenzy pace.
Christopher just takes both his hands and puts them on the sides of the barrel. And you all hear this. If you do not get out of that barrel right now, I will immolate it with you inside.
Yeah, all right. Give me a second. I sealed myself in. Don't do that, because I got things that could go boom in here, and that'd be bad for everybody. Like just give me a second. I'll be out.
20 seconds.
Come on. God, Venus leader, calm down. Snick Stick eventually just pops the barrel top off. He was halfway with an escape tunnel through the bottom of the wagon.
As you pop the top, Christopher's arm does snake into the barrel, and he grabs you by the scuff,
Yeah, I just go there.
and he pulls you out.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
No, explain now.
Okay, explain what. You gotta be more
Everything.
specific. It's just. Okay. I'm gonna need you to use words. Remember, your therapist said use words, not fire.
One of his hands starts to glow.
I know. I can't help you. You don't help me. I need some context. What we like? What you mad about this time? Like, what happened? What explanation? Like, I can start explaining the song and dance with poison, articulation, and manipulation, or I can start explaining things like what's going on in the forest. Like, what
How did you get captured?
Oh, well, that was easy. I wasn't expecting fucking Drow.
Come with me. I know a faster way to get the answers out.
No, fuck.
And with that,
Oh no, you're doing.
he drags Snick Stick with him.
Snick Stick is just a limp. He knows better than to fight this.
Before he continues, he kind of turns back to everyone else. Please follow me. Our encampment is this way.
I will not make him wait. I will just go.
Like you are, his superior officer, but he's not.
He's got the badges to control the trouble.
Well, yes, but actually, no. Yeah, I'm not gonna make him wait. I'll just go, because I am more than curious to see what all of this fuss is about, because there's been plenty of like side glances and secrecy about what's going on, and I don't like being in the dark.
All right. So as you're all moving along, following Christopher and the dragging Snick Stick, you do see different banners, different colors, and certain regalia. Some of it's similar, some of it's not. As you're passing, you do eventually see a 7.5 foot tall warforged walking past.
Snick Stick, just from being dragged, like, "Hey, Templar."
He just kind of stops, looks down, and just keeps moving.
Just getting dragged along.
Eventually, you all make it to your camp. And at that point in time, all of your subordinates do actually take notice of all of you. and kind of start asking pointed questions, like what the fuck happened.
I tell mine to wait until everybody else gets debriefed.
When Snickstick supporters see him, they don't say a damn thing and just turn back around.
God, we just told you to come here. No, don't leave me to this fate.
You kind of see Carver kind of start playing the world's smallest violin.
Good to see you, but fuck you.
Haley, your medical staff starts to, surround you, start asking you pointed questions, asking you if there was anything that you may have seen, any injuries you may have taken care of while you were gone.
It's all a haze, really. And I mean that deeply.
You're the two nurses. The two nurses that were with you kind of, give the rest of the medical team just, that, pointed nods like, yeah, shit got weird. But they kind of go in with the rest of them to kind of get back into the swing of things. Berrigan, the one that meets you first is actually Karos. She's the first one to meet you. And when I mean she's the first one to meet you, she pointedly pushes people out of the way with her fucking axe beak. Sir? Sir, we are terribly sorry that we couldn't help you, but, combat and all. True. Shall I inform the rest of the men? Oh, Reed is already taking care of that, and Proudforge is Proudforge. Mags, yours immediately fall in behind you.
Excellent. I've trained them well.
They fully expect a small explanation, but they know that politics are politics, bureaucracy, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, I will give them an explanation when I'm in an appropriate time to give it to them.
Cool. At that point, everyone else is giving their reports. Nick Newley is off in his command tent because that has already been set up, and he's already writing his report as best as he can. He does have a small staff of just people running in and out, sending out letters, bringing in letters, putting papers on his desk, just back and forth. Snickstick, you are eventually let out of Christopher's tent, and
With
his
a
griffin.
splitting headache, I bet.
Yes, and his griffin just kind of nudges you a bit.
But just like even in my haze, I still give him pets.
He just goes back to
Slip my
laying
piece of
down.
boar jerky.
Yep. And as you're walking past, you do spy 3 half orcs. You know these 3 half orcs. They are part of the infantry.
Oh, good, not mine. Excellent.
Well, my head hurts too much.
Yeah, like one of them looked like he was kind of tensing up, preparing for what may happen, but then
Looks like he's literally doing this. holding his head and just, I don't see you.
Well, they just kind of stop, let you pass, and then continue on.
He's just like fucking pissed off in his invasive mind reading.
Well, after everyone had a chance to talk
This is
amongst
where
themselves,
evocation mages should be dabbling in divination.
after a while, everyone else is done kind of giving briefings to their staff members. 24, your staff members have told you about many of the injuries that they treated while you were away. They did tell you that one of them actually had a chance to treat one of the cloud giants while you were gone.
Number 24 kind of nods along, but is like trying to figure out how long this being gone, like Gap was.
How long did I say you guys were going for? Shit, I had to go back to that first. Because I think you guys were
gone for like a week and a half.
Yeah, you guys weren't gone
Yeah.
that long. Like, you guys weren't, like, your capturing wasn't that far along.
Time is a little inconsistent for number 24 right now, so she's just trying to like put it together.
Yeah, we've been gone for, but almost 2 weeks.
You do see other people in the tent, like other people who have had serious wounds. They're being treated as your staff are just currently working on them. And Noodle is there with you. He's just not being in the way as much.
Everyone seems like at peace here, and I'm just lost. Like,
They're just going through the process.
I play along.
You do notice that one of your staff members does have a large scar across her face.
I ask her what happened.
Goblins.
Goblins got all the way up there to your face.
There was a lot of goblins.
Did they stand one on top of the other?
No, ma'am. They did not stand one on top of the other.
Who picked?
Who
patched you up?
I tried to myself, but the pain was too much. So she pointed to a dwarf over there, helping one person heal from an amputated arm.
Number 24 will go over.
All right.
And see who this person is.
This person is still like kind of new.
Number 24 asks for the name.
Shit. I will come up with this name eventually.
Barrick.
Okay, well, I mean, she meets him.
Yeah. He notices you, and kind of gives you a polite nod as he's still sewing up the nub where his arm was, because he got from here down, arm's gone. So he's sewing up from the elbow up.
Number 24 will ask if he's okay with her taking over. And she introduces herself by rank.
He says, yes, please. I'm still new, and this is a lot more blood that I've seen in my life.
Is it coming out of yourself, no less? That's no good. It's the worst kind.
Yes, it is, ma'am.
She'll fix him up. Do you want me to roll for it?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you using medicine?
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled bad. Do I have inspiration or anything? I don't.
Oh, I thought you were going to use a spell.
Since we're not in combat, can I just take the time that would be needed to do it?
Since you're not actually doing quick in a quick in a hurry type of medical work, you are going to take your time. So I am going to allow you to roll this again in a little bit later.
Okay.
But the rest of the camp is loud-ish. People are milling about. People are preparing weapons. People are getting armor mended. Some people look like they've seen combat fairly recently.
Ooh, my pencil.
Actually, Vergan, a few of your guys look like they have seen combat fairly recently, as they're tending to their mounts, and some of their mounts look like they have, spear wounds, arrow wounds, stuff like that. You see one man say within the next few days, possibly. You do see one of the worst injured mounts. It is just sitting because it looks like it was hurt very badly, and it probably won't ride again.
No, the baby.
Uh-huh. All right, so you heal it for 15. As you're healing the horse does get up, and it does start to feel a bit better. It's still a bit shaky, but it is like starting to move around a bit more. They do say that the rider is in the medical tent. As you get to the medical tent, you see that number 24 is actually treating this man. Go ahead and give me that medicine roll again, Haley. Or if you want to just use a spell, that's fine also.
Yeah, let me take a quick look at my spells. I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
Sorry, that is a D8 plus what? I forgot what I rolled with it. D8 plus 3. What?
What level are you using it?
Like my current level? I don't think I get it. Oh, first level.
Because you can use spells like that, like if you have the slots for a higher level, you can cast it at a higher level for more healing. Like if you use it at second level, you get 2d8 instead of 1d8.
Oh. I'll use my second level then.
Okay. All right. He's looking a bit better, but there's nothing you can do for his arm.
Oh yeah, that shit's gone. I was just gonna at least give him a good stump.
Yeah, like the flesh is healed over, and it doesn't seem like he's in a whole lot of pain, but there's still like some bits of pain left. He does stand up and thank you just as Verrigan enters the tent. He kind of does give the salute, but he also forgets that it's with his missing arm. So it's like,
I
so
accept
it's
it
like
anyway.
like he'll relaxes. Thank you, sir. With that, he does leave to go check up on his mount and, kind of get back into a somewhat normal routine.
Well, let's hope he doesn't go kidnap any popes.
All right, so after a while, you all do eventually get like a runner sent to your respective tents. Stick, they do have to find you first.
Oh, I'm nursing a hangover in my area.
So your runner
I'm actually not hard to find today. Christopher gave me a mental beating, so
your runner actually does give the message to Carver, and Carver does relay a message that you're going to be needed soon. And he does apologize for not assisting you, but he's had to deal with Christopher while you were gone. So he basically says, better you than me. Sorry.
yeah. Explains a few things, don't it?
A little bit.
I know I'm so good at dodging.
I mean, he didn't throw fireballs at us.
Well, that's because
We
you
just kind of stayed away from him.
Oh, so you made sure there was no problem by ignoring his existence unless otherwise needed. I don't have that.
No. Oh no. It wasn't that. It was more of I saw red. I immediately vanished.
See? Take it. Training to heart. Cyrus would be proud.
And the rest of you do get basically the same message to meet in the central command tent because there is going to be a briefing. And you are all going to be needed for that briefing.
Okay.
Is this like a regimental briefing or is this an army briefing?
This is the primary leaders of each army wanting to talk to you all. Kind of give you all the spiel of what's happening. Everyone else knows, you all don't.
Okay.
So everyone goes?
Yeah.
I go and acquire Kristoff.
He's not anywhere nearby when you go to his tent.
Is his griffin still there?
Yes, his griffin's still there.
Like, I just look at the griffin and I do the
Griffin kind of points kind of nudges in the direction you are going to be going.
cool. I slip him some more jerky and then head off in that direction.
He eats. All right. So as you all make it to the command tent, it is very large, very spacious. There is a large table in the center with several chairs. Seated in most of these chairs, you do recognize Cartha, Nathara, Christopher. You do also notice that Templar is there, but he's not seated.
Well, that's what happens when you weigh 500 pounds.
You also see Jade Letmere. You do see the tiefling. You see more Proudmead with his now freshly shaved head, but bright blue beard. And you do see Arturus Dawnshade, and you see Helgir Bloodshield. You see the leaders of each of the nations sitting there, looking at a map with your company's captain and Christopher. When you all step in, they all look up towards you. And then you just hear from Arturus. So it looks like you all ran into a bit of a problem in the last scuffle that you all were a part of. From
Looking at Mags, like,
don't worry. From the reports that we have, thanks to your commanding officer, we do know that there were drow involved, goblins, it would seem, a contingent of hobgoblins, which is not that strange, and talks of other gods.
That would be the. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
It's fine. Explain the other gods part.
We were. Man, I really wish I had my other notebook. When we were extracting ourselves from our captivity, it seemed the organizer of at least the small group of drow that we encountered spoke of a forgotten god for more than one. He had symbols of bats engraved into his armor. I believe he used the name, but because I don't have my notebook, I don't remember what it is. It starts with an E. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the mention of other gods and bats, you kind of do see the halfling stand up out of his chair and exclaim very loudly and manically, "I fucking told you."
nobody ever listens to the short people.
He then pulls out from a very small bag a rather fucking large book that hits the table with a goddamn thud.
Oh, there's a book I'd like to get my hands on.
There's a bag I'd like
I
to
think to myself and not out loud.
He starts milling about his book in a odd flourish that you've never seen on a halfling. And then he just stops at 2 pages and slides it in the middle of the book, in the middle of the table. I fucking told you. They were fucking real. Everybody thought I was fucking insane, but I told you they were fucking real.
Number 24 raises her hand slowly.
From the back, Templar kind of in a very gruff voice, "Speak, little one."
What's real?
You kind of hear Kartha do this. You just hear his hands hit his face.
No, I only asked gently because there's been some strange iconography floating around us.
At that point, before anyone else can speak, Morrow does hop onto the table and grab the book. And he says,
That's a monologue.
"I told you all that there were 2 more. 2 more. No one believed me. A bat and a fucking scorpion. No one fucking believed me. Oh, look, there's proof."
Number 24 audibly gasps.
He kind of, he literally turns on a dime and goes, "You know this, don't you?"
I've been having nightmares
"What kind of nightmares?"
of a scorpion. He looms over me as big as the sky, and a stinger comes down and touches my face. And
Before you,
maybe
Haley,
this is pressing, but not like super pressing. Could be relevant. I
Haley,
completely forgot who I am.
Haley, before you continued on that, Morrow hopped off the table with a speed only Snickstick can manage,
Mm-hmm.
and is literally nose to nose to you
Okay.
with a manic look in his eyes. It's like, "You're coming with me. You're going to tell me everything you know."
She then
And
gives a rant about having forgotten who she is as they're leaving.
most of that is ignored as he's pulling you along. At that point, you do hear Jade chuckle a little bit as she's just sitting there. And she does look to the rest of the group saying, "This is what happens when he gets overly excited on something. Who told him to search whatever ruins were nearby or in his area? How did he find the book in the first place? We don't know if it was there or if it was planted there. All we know now is that there's apparently two other gods in this realm that we either don't know about or forgot about. And now they're amassing an army of sorts, or whatever we want to call a rebel of goblins, present company excluded, hobgoblins, other less than sightly creatures to fight us.
I mean, just spitballing here, but if I were cursed to be forgotten by all except for my faithful few, I might raise some hell. Just saying.
At that point,
Not
Arthas,
defending them; they're assholes.
Arthas does kind of raise his hand a little bit to kind of quiet things down. And he does inform you all that all they know currently is that the skirmishes that they fought have been that small. They'd come in, attack, we'd fight back, we'd lose a few, they'd lose a lot. But every time we attacked, it looked like it didn't matter if they died. They just wanted us to continue fighting, tire us all out, reduce our resources that we have.
They're probing the boundaries.
Or they're prepping.
Currently, our scouts have not been able to find many traces of a larger force. And we have some of the best scouts around. I said some, Snickstick. We all know that you can vanish on... If I can drop a cover right now, you will immediately vanish. I know it to be true.
No, because the room is too small and Kristoff would just burn me.
Christopher does look at you like, "Don't you fucking do it."
That's why I said what I said. I stand by it.
But at this point in time, we are prepared. We're preparing for the next assault. We don't know how big the assault will be. which is why we want all of you to be prepared for this assault. We will try to make sure that your unit is very well prepared, that they get fresh weapons, that they get new armor if they need it, more medical supplies. And some of us will be going along with you. But we cannot stretch thin all of our forces. Yes, Nick Stick.
So the army is here.
Yes.
Why here?
This is the last spot that we were attacked.
So
We moved a ways away from that spot.
so we don't know where their army is. But we got attacked here, so we moved everybody here. Is that what I'm hearing?
We are camped here in preparation for the next assault.
Right. Where are we assaulting?
There is a field not far from here.
All right. Ignore the Snickstick
Yes.
bad rep. Snickstick
Yeah.
is tactic brain right now. Christoph can even back me up on this when I get into this mode.
He knows. Don't worry, Snick Stick. You and your scouts will be deployed to search. You will be deployed
Just
with the
give me
rest
my
of ours.
maps. Just give me maps and notes. I'll deal
Yes,
with the rest.
we will make sure that you have maps, everything that you need.
Thank you.
At this point in time, I want you all to at least rest and be prepared. We will
Whoever, when you say be prepared, thanks to the Lion King.
be sending more orders to what was his fucking Colonel Nick Newley. Thank you. And once he knows, everything will begin. So rest up. Pray to the gods that nothing happens while we're all preparing. And that this is over swiftly. And with that, we are going to end the session here. All right, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in. And hopefully not next week, the week after, we will continue on this adventure and hopefully see how everything turns out.